clap.
Yo.
What's up, evolutionaries? It's your boy Callie, and I'm back again with another video. If this is your first time tuning into my YouTube channel, welcome to the evolution. And if you are a returning viewer, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to show your support for the evolutionary life of Callie. Today's video is chapter 21, goal number 9 in the Sustainable Development Goals series, and the topic is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. It's not different than any other video. It's the same thing. Remember that the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are a part of the Vision 2030. What would I call it? It's like a plan that we have for the world, that we want to achieve these 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. And so this video is chapter 21, goal number 9. So we're a little bit halfway there in completing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals series. I always have a struggle calling that word. But yes, it's been a very great journey doing this series. Not sure what I'm gonna do next though. Drop a comment below and let me know what other plan do you think I should work on for my next series for my evolutionary, and so yes, we'll work on that. But for today, let's focus on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. As you know, the video will be split in 3 parts. The first part will focus on the overview of what industry, innovation, and infrastructure stands for, and then the second section of today's video will focus on the 3 main targets that the United Nations has implemented as it relates to the accomplishment of the industry, innovation, and infrastructure. The third and final section will focus on progress and information, which basically speaks about how far the United Nations has come as it relates to the overall success in achieving industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and also any additional information that you might need. Let's get right into it. What does industry, innovation, and infrastructure refer to? Industry, innovation, and infrastructure refers to economic activities concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods in factories, the process or action of creating a new method, idea, or product, the basic physical and organizational structures and facilities needed for the operation of a society or enterprise. The tagline for industry, innovation, and infrastructure states, goal number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure: build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. That is the tagline for this goal. As you know, all the goals have a tagline, so that's the tagline for industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 3 important facts. Fact number 1, 2020 was catastrophic. 2020 was catastrophic for air travel demand. Air passengers dropped from 4.5 billion in 2019 to 1.8 billion in 2020, a 60% decline. Important fact number 2, almost 300 million out of 520 million rural dwellers lack good access to roads in 25 countries. And important fact number 3, increased investment in research and development is essential to finding solutions for crises such as COVID-19. And that sums up the first section of today's video, the overview of what industry, innovation, and infrastructure stands for. Let's move on to the let's move on to the second section, the 3 main targets that the United Nations has implemented in the achievement of industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Let's get to it. Now let's move on to the second section of today's video, the 3 main targets that the United Nations has implemented in the achievement of industry, innovation, and infrastructure. I have my phone here, and I know you may be wondering, how is it that you have your phone and you're not at the third section of the video? I'm just switching things up a bit. We're turning to technology for everything, and I said to myself, why not just put everything on your phone? And so going forward, I may use my phone for everything that I'll be reading. Who knows? But for now, let's do that. So target 9.1 states: develop quality, reliable, sustainable, and resilient infrastructure, including regional and trans-border infrastructures, to support economic development and human well-being, with a focus on affordable and equitable access for all. Target 9.2 states: promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and by 2030, significantly raise industry's share of employment and gross domestic product in line with national circumstances, and double its share in least developed countries. Target 9.3 states: increase the access of small-scale industrial and other enterprises, in particular in developing countries, to financial services, including affordable credit and their integration into value chains and markets. Yes, and that sums up the second section of today's video. I was about to say third and final. I'm so used to having my phone at that part. But yes, that sums up the second section of today's video. The three main targets that the United Nations has implemented in the achievement of industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Let's move on to the third and final section, the progress and information, which, as mentioned before, it's how far the United Nations has come as it relates to the achievement of industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Let's get right to it. Now let's move on to the third and final section of today's video, progress and information. As you may or may not know, the link will be left in the description box below that you can click to view all the information that I mentioned from the start of the video, especially as it relates to the progress and information, because it has most of the information. And I may, or let me not say may, I did say that in the previous video, let me not say may, I will not be able to read everything from my notes, but I will try my best to mention the most important things for those who won't be able to go and check out the link. But for those who will be able, you can click the link and it will take you directly to all the information that I spoke about today and more. So yes, check that out. So progress and information. In the year before the COVID-19 pandemic triggered the greatest economic crisis in decades, manufacturing value added had seen the slowest year-on-year growth rate since 2012, primarily because of tariff and trade tensions between the most dominant economies. The pandemic has hit the manufacturing and transport industries hard, causing job losses and declining incomes for workers in those sectors. According to data from 2018 and 2019, on the 25 countries and territories in Africa, Asia, South America, Central Asia, and the Middle East, for which the Rural Access Index of the World Bank was updated using a spatial method, almost 300 million out of 520 million rural dwellers still lack reliable access to roads, as mentioned in the three main important facts. Manufacturing in the least developed countries is expected to have grown by a negligible 1.2% in 2020 compared to 8.7% in 2019, helping the least developed countries to increase their share of manufacturing value added to 12.8% in 2012 from 10.1% in 2010. Global carbon dioxide emissions from fuel combustion declined slightly in 2019 from a historic high of 33.5 billion tons in 2018, owing mainly to changes in power sources in advanced economies and milder weather conditions across the continents. The rollout of mobile broadband networks slowed in 2012. Almost 85% of the global population was covered by a 4G network at the end of 2020, following a twofold increase in coverage since 2015. However, annual growth has been slowing gradually since 2017, with the result that coverage in 2012 was only 1.3 percentage points higher than in 2019. And that sums up the progress and information. And that is it. The video is finished. I'm sorry, I'm just closing my phone. So yes, it gets easier each and every time when I do these videos, because as mentioned about 3 or 4 videos ago, it's basically the same thing over and over again, just different information. So it's really not a hassle to sit here and talk to you guys. It's become a lot easier. I feel as if I'm talking to family, but you guys are family, so yes. But yes, that sums up today's video. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It was my pleasure sitting here as usual to provide you with yet another important topic that we all should be educated on. Remember to leave a like, comment, and share with your friends, family members, strangers, and anyone you come in contact with on a daily basis. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, 1 more subscriber equals 1 more supporter against all the human rights infringements and also the accomplishment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It, again, was my pleasure, and I do appreciate you guys 100%. Stay safe. Keep each other safe. Kali loves you guys, and I am signing out. See you guys next week. Bye.